Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Before Coffee. It is Good News Day, the episode where we look up all the good news we can find this week and tell you about it, because it's not all gloom and doom out there, especially on Christmas Eve. So if you celebrate Christmas Eve, happy Christmas Eve. This is Before Coffee, the father and daughter comprehensive news of Planet Earth podcast, where we look up the news 10 to 15 minutes before we've started and we haven't had any caffeine. So, what's in the headlines for this Christmassy week? Today on Before Coffee. Former Greek royal family expresses deep emotion after regaining citizenship. And million signatures on a pro-abortion rights initiative promotes a EU action.
And a wrong number led to the NORAD Santa Tracker, and the Spanish government is getting tough on fake news.
London tech bosses who don't protect children could be jailed, and France has a new government. Let's see who's in it.
And on Good News Day, I found a news site that only reports good news, so we're going to do all the good news from the week before Christmas.
And coming out of culture, twisters, tennis, and transformations, the best movie moments of 2024.
And it's National Egg Nog Day, so get out your egg and get out your nog and have a cocktail later. Don't start drinking too early. It's Christmas Eve, December 24th, 2024 on Before Coffee.
Yeah. Another Christmas Eve, and a nice and warm, cozy Christmas Eve for me. It's not cold at all. I can go outside in August weather right now.
Right.
So I'm not dreaming
Thank
of
you,
white
greenhouse
Christmas.
effect.
I'm not expecting a white Christmas.
Greenhouse effect. Greenhouse effect.
Okay, let's look at my first news article, which I can see it. My skin is flaking because my lips are so dry. It's bothering me that I can see my lip flakes on camera. My lip flakes. This is what happens when you do a lip peel before you go to bed.
Okay.
Alright. Okay, so our first article today is going to be about, well, a lot of things happening in Europe. Some good stuff, some positive stuff, and, well, depends on your point of view, positive stuff. Like this one about former Greek royal family who, I guess, lost their citizenship as Greek people, and they've only now just gained it back. This is on AP News by Derek Gatopoulos out of Athens. Members of the Greek former royal family expressed deep emotion yesterday on the 23rd of December at a decision to reinstate their Greek citizenship, ending a decades-old dispute with the country's government. Greece abolished the monarchy in a 1974 referendum, and the former royal family was stripped of its citizenship 2 decades later during a dispute over the former royal estate that passed to state control. In a decision published in the Government Gazette, dated on Friday, the 20th of December, citizenship was granted to 10 members of the former royal family. They include the 5 children of the late King Constantine II and former Queen Anne Marie, as well as 5 other grandchildren. It is with deep emotion that, after 30 years, we hold the Greek citizenship again. The law of 1994 deprived us of our citizenship, rendering us stateless, with all that this entails in terms of individual rights and great emotional distress. That's so weird. Why'd they do that? You guys aren't allowed to have a country. Fuck you. The former royal family said in a statement in Greek and in English. Our father and our family fully respected the results of the 1974 referendum, the statement said. However, the provisions of the 1994 law on citizenship as a result of political status at the time was not befitting of a former head of the Greek state and institutions that served the country faithfully. Passing of our father marked the end of that era. I think it also doesn't fit humanity. It's really weird to just say, I know you didn't ask to be born into the royal family, but you no longer have any citizenship and you don't belong anywhere because, I don't know, we kick you out. Constantine died last year at 82, having only returned to Greece in his 70s. He remained a controversial figure over claims that he failed to distance himself from heated political rivalries while he reigned as king between 1964 and 1973. He was ousted during a military dictatorship that collapsed the following year. Constantine's family has close ties with European royals through his marriage to Danish Princess Anne-Marie. His sister is Emeritus Queen Sofia of Spain, and he was second cousin to Britain's King Charles III and godfather to Prince William. Ending the dispute, Constantine's children agreed last week to adopt a surname, de Grèce, from the French for Greece. Why don't they do it in Greek? Why in French? While formally recognized Greek status as a presidential parliamentary democracy and renouncing any claims to royal authority or titles. After 50 years since democracy's restoration, we have strong democracy and protected constitution that can defend itself, with laws that apply without any footnotes or exceptions, government spokesperson Pavlos Marinakis said on Friday, the 20th, before the decision was published. Constantine's 5 children are Alexei at 58, Pavlos at 56, Nikolaos at 54, Theodora at 40, and Philippos 37. Pavlos, 56's 5 children were granted citizenship. Maria, imagine being a citizen of nowhere your whole life. Maria Olympia, 27, right? If this law was passed in 1994, so for their entire life they've not been a citizen of any country. They've been living in Greece, but they probably couldn't do a lot of things without a Greek passport or ID or anything. Constantine Alexios, 25, Achilles Andreas, 23, Odessia Kimon, 19, and Titis Stavros, 15. Other royal family members, including the 78-year-old former Queen Anne-Marie, did not apply. Well, she at least belongs somewhere else, right? She's a citizen of another country in Denmark, so it's not so bad for her. I think she probably didn't lose her Danish citizenship, or maybe she did. But another reason why citizenship is stupid for me, you can just be stateless, which is illegal to be stateless, and you can just be kicked out of your country and not belong anywhere. Also, one of the people in this picture looks a lot like Lady Gaga, so that's a fun fact. She looks like Lady Gaga. Okay. In more EU news, abortion rights initiative hits 1 million signatures, prompting EU action. This is from Marta Irola Iribarren. The Citizens Initiative, My Choice, My Choice, calling for safe access to abortion in the European Union, has reached the necessary 1 million signatures for safe access. For the EU Commission to issue a response, to actually say, yes, you're right. But they are. My Choice, My Choice, a citizens initiative advocating for safe and accessible abortion in the EU, includes 15 countries and more than double the necessary 7 countries that needed to sign the the petition. We managed to connect the entire EU and build a network across Europe. Most importantly, we clearly demonstrated that the right to freely decide about childbirth is a shared value across Europe, said Nika Kovac, the campaign coordinator, in a press release. The initiative, led by 8th of March Institute, a Slovenian nonprofit organization for gender equality, calls on the European Commission to propose concrete measures ensuring that all EU citizens, regardless of nationality or residence, have access to safe and legal abortion services. The 1 million signatures gathered compel the European Commission to respond to the initiative in a communication formally adopted by the College of Commissioners and decide whether to take action. Safe access to abortion in the EU has been a widely discussed topic across Europe institutions. In April, Parliament voted in favor of including access to abortion in the EU's Charter of Fundamental Rights, an initiative widely backed by the Chamber. However, the vote was mostly symbolic, as the resolution is non-binding, as is most things in the EU. When people in Brexit were saying, they're telling us what to do, we won't listen to some foreigners telling us to do it, none of them are telling you what to do.
I think the food is binding.
The food?
Yeah, you said nothing in... Never mind, it's a joke about British food.
No. I was more like saying whatever the EU Commission says, the initiatives they pass are not binding. They're not laws.
I know. You said nothing. It's a joke.
And ensuring fledged right to abortion access would require the unanimous backing of all 27 member states to be included in the EU Charter. That's including Hungary, which famously, I think this year, was having pro-abortion rallies and pro-choice rallies, I guess you could say, saying, hey, let us do that. And Hungary was like, fuck you. Disagreements with the parliament about abortion were also part of the reason Health Commissioner Olivier Varhelyi saw sexual and reproductive health removed from his portfolio and placed for the first time under the Equality Commissioner Hadja Labib. It is a member state's competence, so we will need an agreement from all of us. We will need this unanimity, but I hope that we will be able to protect women's lives, said Labib during her first appearance in the Parliament's Public Health Committee. She added that it is unacceptable that abortion is not equally accessible in all EU countries, as this only increases the social differences and gaps among the member states. And that's her job, equality. So if everyone's living a better life in Denmark, why the hell would you stay in Spain, you know? They're having much better time up there, and they have access to abortion, and their healthcare is cheaper. Let's all move to Denmark. And then Denmark would be like, we have too many people from the EU moving here. Oh, my life sucks. Whatever they say when people...
Abortion laws are only for poor people, like Morse laws. They're only for poor people. Yep.
So, and let's be honest, there aren't a lot of poor people in Europe. There are poor people, but I would argue the level of poorness in Europe is way higher, right?
Yeah,
like how much
poor
money
is
they're
relative.
making.
It's
only relative.
It's only a rich country. It's only rich countries making these rules anyway.
Yeah.
Unless it's China, which they make.
I think,
like, you're only having one kid.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, they used to have that anyways. Because they're having too many people.
Well, history's full of allegories. Anyway.
But that's my stories. On to your good news.
All right, good news. Instead of, let's just bring Santa Claus into this because he's a jolly old fellow. A wrong number to somegoodnewsnetwork.org. A wrong number led to top secret military phone. A wrong number to a top secret military phone led to NORAD Santa Tracker with millions of fans worldwide. They need to work on their headline writing, right? That's a book. That's not a headline. The official Santa Tracker. Nobody's name is on this, just Good News Network. The official Santa Tracker that has been delighting families worldwide for 7 decades got its unlikely start when a child accidentally called the telephone number of a top secret Pentagon hotline responsible for alerting military attack in North America. In December 1955, 1 year after President Eisenhower established the hotline, the red phone rang at the Continental Air Defense Command, now known as NORAD, the North American Aerospace Defense Command. The country was in the middle of the Cold War, tended to provide a number for emergency use only. When commanding officer Colonel Harry Shoup answered, he heard a squeaky voice asking, "Is this Santa Claus?" Shoup was a prank, responded accordingly until the boy started crying. Realizing it wasn't a joke, Shoup, a father of four, played Santa and then spoke to Mom, who told him the number was in a holiday ad for the Sears department store. The number printed on the advertisement was 1 digit off from what Sears intended to print. It was...
Sounds like a fine.
That's kind of funny. A fine?
Yeah,
the numbers. That was 1 digit off. Who knows if Shoup saw the humor thought, but Dad said, "Call me on a private phone and we'll talk to you anytime, day or night. Kiddies, be sure to dial the correct number." The kids kept calling Shoup to the phone to answer the phone. Santa. It got to the big joke at the command center. She stood up and said, "You know, the old man really flipped his lid this time. We're answering Santa calls." There was a giant board used to track airplanes, and on Christmas Eve, some of the staff added a sleigh with reindeer on it. When Shoup saw, he apologized and offered to remove it, but he thought the sleigh looked great. And next thing you know, Dad called that radio station and said, "This is the commander of the Combat Alert Center. We have an unidentified flying object. Why, it looks like a sleigh." The radio station started calling him every hour asking, "Where's Santa now?" That's how NORAD Santa Tracker tradition began. It's grown annually for 69 years.
Listen, a Christmas-loving commander, it was some Scrooge, it never would happen.
Right, exactly. This is why we call this Good News Tuesday, not the let's talk about horrible shit all the time. Okay? They started issuing a press release on Christmas Eve that had appeared in the media around the country announcing that they were tracking a red sleigh that was in down from North Pole. In the 1960s, NORAD mailed vinyl records to radio stations with pre-recorded updates of Santa's progress. In the 1970s, they broadcasted updates on TV. Every year, more than 1,250 volunteers, both military and civilian, answered the flood of calls and emails to Santa Tracker from around the world. Volunteering has become a family tradition, and in some cases, 3 generations have been participating. Sheriff's daughter Terry is among them. The Santa tracking website is available in 9 languages on Christmas Eve, December 24th. You can telephone NORAD for updates directly at 1-877-HI-NORAD at HINOR80. And I don't know what those numbers correspond to off the top of my head, but most people can figure it out. Truly, it's the 21st century now. They even have a free app, and families can use Amazon's Alexa service as for updates. Colonel Shook, who died in 2009, served in World War II, the Korean and Vietnam War. He received the Soldier's Medal for saving the life of another airman.
Huh.
So, war hero.
Great guy, all around.
He also kept
No question.
letters that kids had sent him about Santa inside his locked briefcase, and his daughter believes it may have been the thing he was proudest of. So news there. One more good news story before we pass it. The Spanish government got tough on fake news this week. This is from positive.news. Spain is cracking down on online fakery, the draft law creating disinformation on digital platforms, and the United States needs. We citizens have a right to defend ourselves from professional cultures, said Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, who has long voiced concerns about the threat that fake news poses to democracy. If passed, the new law will apply to social media influencers with large following, 100,000 on a single platform, or 200,000 across multiple sites. They will be required to correct misinformation or could face court action if they fail to comply. The law will also oblige platforms themselves to have mechanisms in place to handle disinformation complaints. The digital measures is part of the Spanish government's broader action plan for democracy. For those who dedicate themselves to lying and spreading hoaxes, Elon Musk, and spreading hoaxes every day, the party is over. Yeah. Justice Minister Felix Bolanos posted on X to sell the platform of Washington disinformation. That's for sure. All right. They come always government and get together and just binge garbage once and for all. Because I'm tired of listening to people lecture me about shit that don't fucking exist.
Yeah.
Back to you.
Selling sharks to kids in Florida. What are you talking about? What's happening? Look, a picture of it. That's AI-generated image. Grandpa.
Did you know that litter boxes in classrooms?
Yeah,
because
that
kids
was
want to
big.
do it. That was my favorite. Because schools thought litter boxes would be a good idea during live shootings. Because kids can't use the bathroom.
The real
Let's put
problem,
a litter box. One school somewhere did that. And the real problem is the school shootings is, oh my God, somebody put a litter box in the classroom. It's all freak out. It's all epic. It's coming to our whole society.
Like they'd be shot to death with 1 billion bullets and be trans. That's those people thinking.
Yep.
God.
Yeah, the reactionary right drives the debate in this country. They're all full of shit. Every last one of them. Back to you.
Alright, anyways, more good news. Let's talk about... Let's see, what do we have next? Oh, yes. Speaking of curbing fake news, in London, they're trying to threatening tech bosses with jail time if they don't limit children's access to their online social media. This is on Zeet Online, coming from the German press agency, and hopefully
okay, it's
in English, good.
The phone is the best babysitter ever invented.
Yeah, for sure. And the TV, it was originally the TV. Social media companies
TV
face several penalties, including imprisonment for employees if they fail to protect minors from harmful content, including spread of bullying, violent, and dangerous stunts, as Technology Minister Peter Kyle announced in an interview with the television channel Sky News. Apps intended for adults only must have introduced a watertight age verification using a credit card or ID card. The regular Ofcom is expected to announce its requirements in January. Wait, I have to get my driver's license to get a Tinder account? Yep. Welcome to reality. I know, honestly, it's better for everyone. I think people should. They do this in Korea and China as well. Your online presence is attached to your ID. So if you do anything online, like cheat, try to do a scam, whatever, they'll know who you are. Because it's on your ID. You can't have any anonymous existence on the internet.
I'm totally surprised by the number of total strangers that want to talk to me. It's amazing. I got so many friends.
Anyone who does not comply will face fines and in some cases prison sentences, Kyle says. This is the direction I will take because I want to make sure that children are protected. This is not currently the case. The minister praised the creativity and inventiveness of the tech companies from which the government could also learn. However, they do not do enough research into the effects. If I were to make a product that was used throughout society and that I knew children as young as 5 were accessing, I would want to be pretty sure that it would not have a negative impact on young people, said Kyle. However, the British government is not currently planning a social media ban for under 16s like in Australia. So, not yet. I don't know, it's going to be hard to enforce that, but not yet. In more good news, France has another new government. Right after the huge collapse of the previous one, we've got a new one. But it's only a government, it's only new by name, according to your certificate, which is apparently settled by Theo Bourget-Ons. Prime Minister Francois Bayrou announced the country's 4th government in 2024 on Monday, 25th December, holding on to the political course of the past 7 years with a team of close centrist allies and ministers from previous governments, including 2 ex-prime ministers. The no-confidence vote that had Prime Minister Michael Barnier's government collapse in early December was an apparent call by the opposition forces that things ought to change. The call was evidently ignored. On Monday, France unveiled its 4th government of 2024, made up of many pro-Macron faces, long-serving allies, by confidants, ex-ministers, and a few established conservative faces, ending to the quasi-certainty that Macron's political direction will not see the slightest of changes. The Liberal executive team opened to Social Democrats were crushed, as many had predicted. As it stands, it is less politically diverse than Barnier's government was, which crashed after 2.5 months in action. Well, inaction. They weren't able to do anything. He tried to force through a budget, and then they were like, you can't do that. Get out of here. Kicked him out of his seat. Raising serious questions over the new government's own survival odds. Ex-Prime Minister Elizabeth Borne, who was the previous Prime Minister 2022 to 2024, who passed the baton to young serving Prime Minister Gabriel Attal in January 2024, is back with large-scope education, research, and innovative portfolio. The return is matched by another former Prime Minister, Manuel Valls, who was Prime Minister 2014-2016, to take on the Overseas Territories job. A former socialist turned early Macron supporter, he is a decried figure for his alleged political opportunism. Once a presidential hopeful, he failed at the 2016 socialist primaries. He resigned from his lawmaker job in 2019 to enter the Barcelona municipal race, which he did not win. Returned to France in 2021. Gerald Darmanin, who served as the Interior Minister for 4 years until the summer of 2024, becomes Justice Minister. Conservative Bruno Retailleau holds on to the Interior Minister role he has taken over from Darmanin. Of note, Eric Lombard, a former bank C-suite executive, is appointed as Economy and Finance Minister and will carry with him a complex mission to draft and adopt a 2024 budget with support from Amélie de Montjoly, from former EU Minister and France's permanent representative at the OECD. To do both, we'll need to secure the support of anti-Macron political factions, the far-right Rassemblement National and left Nouveau Front Populaire NFP coalition, whose combined votes brought the previous government down. Most other ministers, including Defense Minister Sébastien Lecornu, Culture Minister Rachida Dati, Work Minister Catherine Austrin, Agriculture Minister Annie Genevard, Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot, and Europe Minister Benjamin Haddad stay where they were before. But this is, yet again, only a new government by name. Most are household names, and as all have held ministerial posts in the past. All also are, to varying degree, associated with Macron, and bar for the Conservatives, are early supporters of the man's political odyssey. The list as it stands raises serious questions over the actual possibility of this government's survival. Idaho is left with the least politically open government since 2022. At a time when fragmentation is such, survival odds depend on the ability to secure support of some opposition forces. The left will most likely oppose a liberal-minded 2025 budget, so long as the 2023 pensions reform, which pushes the legal retirement age to 62 to 64, is not suspended at once. A key NFP ask. Idaho says he's open to tweaks and improvements but will not freeze it. The far right, who refused to enter into a coalition talks of any sort, announced that they would give this new government a chance, just like they had with pioneers. Effectively hold a kingmaker position, government survival would depend on the RN's decision to throw their support or file a vote of no confidence on which the left would vote. Ultimately, the new government is far from far-right nationalist agenda, and disagreements will soon show. For the first time influence the RN is ready to exert on the new executive, it pushed against the possible appointment of conservative Xavier Bertrand as Justice Minister, who has often been vocally critical of far-right. Party warned his nomination would send a very wrong signal, enough for Bertrand to be let go. I refuse to partake in a French government formed with Marie Le Pen's approval, which would have been walking back on my values, Bertrand said in a press release. Francois Bayrou has put together a failed coalition. Foreign's President Jordan Bardella posted it on Twitter. So it's good news that they finally made government, but it might be bad news later. But for now, let's hope that they'll just
Mix it best.
Yeah, the centrists will keep centering. That's what they like to do. They like to be in the middle, so you can't really blame them for doing that.
Political intrigue, isn't it? Yeah. Not really goodness.
The people who are centrists, center conservatives are in the center. I can't believe it. Why don't they believe in my far right and my far left policies? Yeah, that's not how that works, but that's also how French people voted. French people voted very far right.
Usually what happens is the party up is out power, creates controversy out of nothing, makes it a gushers, they get power, even though things are great, people set, like, oh, things are terrible, and things are terrible, people are full of shit. All of these European countries, their countries are coming apart, they're overreacting, usually it's immigration or some external pressure or something. Not a big deal. Oligarch wants to look that way, so they go, oh my god, something's happening, let's vote this party out, and then they get a bunch of fascists in there, and we'll vote again, yay! I don't know. So that's bad news, hopefully. Yeah, it's a cycle of stupidity that humans keep repeating. It's nothing to get done about it. Nothing to be done. Because all people common sense eventually die, and everybody's people with no common sense. If it was common sense, everybody would have had it, right?
Well, that's all
anyway.
Sorry,
yep.
Your story. I don't know what your
story. Okay, rather than one story, we're going to do a big old news dump.
News dump.
I found a website that it's called onlygoodnewsdaily.com. And it says all the good news for the week before Christmas. In the week when Scotland introduced its bill to jail bosses of polluters, and there's an idea. Put a mail. Go their freedom. They got money. And the British government announced its ambitious goal to achieve 95% green energy by 2030, which is only 5 years away. Paris unveiled its urban forest plan to cover half the city in trees in order to reduce temperature, increase flood resilience, and lower carbon emissions. The world also discovered that the universe is expanding faster than we thought. I don't know if that's good. It's just nothing you can do about it, right? We're just expanding, okay? And we're going to cover those stories. We're going to cover other things. Monarch protections, environment. There's going to be words. There's not going to be stories. There's going to be birds, okay? So if you want to try in, go ahead. Monarch protections. Environmentalists are celebrating after U.S. Fish and Wildlife announced its plan to add monarch butterflies to the threatened species list. Extensive protection. Of course, that's good news if people pay attention to that shit. But of course, we got a country full of contrarians and jackasses who see something. Oh, they're extinction. Let's look process. Yeah. So this country's full of assholes. Oh, liberals like butterflies. Let's kill them. You know, that's exactly. This country, unfortunately, just a bunch of Neanderthals. Not so many Neanderthals. Just complete boneheads, let's call them. Other good news, the urine cancer test. Scientists have created the first of its kind urine test, which they say catches lung cancer early, potentially improving country lung to people who will go on to develop disease. Created by the University of Cambridge, England, the test identifies zombie cell proteins in urine. These proteins can be markers of tissue changes that occur long before lung cancer becomes visible to scans or physical symptoms. God. Good news on the cancer finding front. Detecting
yeah.
What? Now, of course, in the United States, you can health insurance, you won't get treatment. But hey, these people when you got it, huh? Hey, that's awesome. And more good news. The Art Museum will now be free for kids aged 12 and under to an anonymous gift of $3.54 million. The gift will enable the museum to establish an endowment that will fund the admission waiver in perpetuity. And also in Milwaukee. Hey, that's a joke. In perpetuity means forever. Yeah. Without application of any kind of fundraising. It's an endowment. It's supposed to just self-fund itself. All right. Australia's Waker with another blur. Australia's national record for the fastest 200-meter sprint has been broken by a 16-year-old. Wow. Gout. Teenager name is Gout. UT, twice. Ran the length in a mere 20.04 seconds in the Australian All-Schools Championships in Brisbane, breaking the record set by Peter Norman in the 1968 Olympics. That is a old-ass record that was broken by a 16-year-old. Probably hopped up on goofballs, as the old folks would say. Oh, teenagers are up to no good. No, this is athlete Gout. If your name is Gout and you can run, that is total irony. That's right. Because if you got gout, you can't move. Anyway. Add more blurs, digital 3D scan created from over 25,000 high-res images. The legendary bird shipwreck can be explored like never before, and there's a story that goes with that. Man, you could have clicked all these links and had all kinds of stories today. Next time, don't close your good news book. It's looking for shady stories. Until you put all the good news. It's called Only Good News Daily. Here's another blur. Online platforms must begin assessing whether their service exposes users to illegal material by March 16, 2025 for face financial punishments. Excuse me. CK's Online Safety Act begins taking effect. Ofcom, the regulator enforcing the EPA's Internet safety laws, publishes final rules of practice how firms should deal with illegal online content. And EV evangelism, as in electrical vehicles. November marked another record-breaking month. November marked another record-breaking month for EV sales of 1.8 million units sold globally, with China owning 2/3 of the total, according to Freeport EV Research House Roll Motion. The previous record set in October 2024 by 100,000. Overall, 50.2 million EVs have been sold globally so far this year, growing like 25% year to date. I'm thinking if I get an electric car, I'm thinking one of the Chinese ones, because even with the tariffs, Joe Biden put 100% tariff on Chinese electrical vehicles, which makes sense. I mean, we're Chinese are marketing on, but even with the tariffs, they're cheaper than American vehicles. I guess probably maintenance and stuff is shit. For saving money on the front end, and I'm definitely on the front end of most purchases these days. Anyway, Europe needs in more EV news. Europe needs a vehicle to fire the electric revolution, and maybe the £14,995 or $18,000 Dacia Spring. The Dacia Spring. Look at that as an electric vehicle for your pocketbook savings or card at the fucking station. Just a charge. Save the environment, folks. You live in one planet, you live in space. And the last one. Well, it's not even our last one, not even close. Minister staff at various independent bookstores across America as they're receiving $500 holiday bonuses from James Patterson that are selling novels within warning independent store employees since 2015. Booksellers save lives, period. Patterson said in a statement. They're very in depth. And Christmas #1. These are the headlines. When Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas is Billboard Hot 100 again this year, it became 19th Hot 100 #1. That's the most ever among soloists, and it's one away from Beatles' overall record of 20. Also make Carey the first artist to have ranked #1 on the chart in 4 distinct decades. What's that? 6 decades. The 90s, the 2000s, the 10s, and the 20s. London's electric ferry. Computers in London will soon have a breakaway trail up and down the Thames with the arrival of UK's first all-electric ferry. Flipper will launch in March 2025. The ferry will be able to carry 150 passengers, 100 bikes, and provide a accessible green and fast route across the Thames 7 days a week. Yeah, you shouldn't be leaving everywhere anyway. No oil gets dumped in rivers just for the engines being in contact.
Yeah.
And just for the boats. And Amtrak has electric trains. The U.S. Amtrak is practically sound as a long-distance train, and it's about upgrading expanding services, enhancing the reducing gas emissions, and generating jobs in the process. The company debuting next GSL in the spring of 2025. 28 high-speed electric trains coming to the Northeast Corridor tracks, the busiest in the nation. It's finally coming to fruition after being derailed figuratively multiple times. We'll get to the last of these. A huge achievement is the headline here. The happiest country in the world is making a name for itself in ocean preservation as well. The Fish Parliament has passed legislation and cargo ships discharging wastewater in countries' coastal waters, holding them to the same standards as passenger ships. This is a huge achievement. Major environmental victories are rare, but the decision is world class. No other country has such ambitious laws. Stop up your wastewater on our coast, you passages. They don't need to take their ships to sink money. They'll get some environmental damage.
No, they'll give all the fishing homes using all the ships.
We got 3 more of these. Hospital heroes in Sandy Springs, Georgia. The fire department is once again spraying some Holly Journey children who can't be home for holidays this year. The emergency workers, along with Blooper, the library's mascot is Superman, rappelled off the roof of Children's Healthcare at Atlanta Scottish Rite Hospital, waving to little patients as they travel down the side of the building. Cool. Why would Superman have to repel? He can fly. Just asking. Superman must have not had some kryptonite in the sound of accident. The recruitment award. Tom Cruise has been presented with the U.S. Navy's Ice Ceiling Award for boosting force recruitment pilots. Thanks to his performance in Top Gun. Oh yeah, they go pilots. They do our jobs. Just pilots. Okay. I guess that's kind of sideways to me. And that is your story. That's really good story. The last one is just telling you subscribe. The last one is say subscribe to our website and do subscribe to onlygoodnewsdaily.com. Only one more. Literally. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, video. Christmas video. So, yeah.
Christmas video, the Beatles.
Right.
Then let's go to our culture news segment, which is about, another list of the best movie moments of this year, right before the end of the year. Let's see, this is on Guardian. From Into the Sea Chases, statistics were playing Guardians are the most memorable scenes from films released in the US this year. Spoilers ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different writers have what their favorite moment of the year was. The first one, the transformation, Night Bitch. Amy Adams' K9 transformation in Marielle Heller's Night Bitch, doing nothing we haven't seen before. There's a fine history of Moonlit, Metamorphosis, and werewolf movies, moments that feed growls, stretching, the twisting of muscle, or sprouting at lightning speed. In fact, some people Christmas films shine away from the body horror at the heart of mother's animalistic breakdown. But there is a powerful wave of catharsis, the low-key transformation scene. Watching Adams fit in that ear, dig with bare hands into her own tiny suburban lawn, down onto her paws, fully dogging body and mind, with hair against the bristle of her forearms. After zero calm voiceover, I have one thought, I am an animal. Follows the rippling fur as her character reborn, the yellow bright hussy, with a cloud of strawberry blonde hair on a muscular frame. Hunting dog will track mine, blood, and it curtains when neighboring cats. That's from Pamela Hutton's House, her favorite moment of the year. Amy Adams turning into a werewolf. The final match, challengers. One of the trickiest aspects of sports movies is the win-loss binary. How can you construct something thrilling or unexpected without forcing the outcome of a fictional match into a familiar shape? Challenger, the tennis dramedy from Luca Guadagnino and Justin Quitsikis find the way, despite everything in the movie leading up to a tie-breaking tennis match between former best friend Patrick Swayze, Russell Connor, and R. Donald St. Mike Feast. With the implicit stakes of the heart of Art's wife, Tashi Duncan, and Zendaya, and the woman and former tennis project they both love. When the tie-breaking match begins, Art has just learned through an elegantly silent callback to earlier movie that Patrick and Tashi have recently slept together. In other words, it's on and it's in sports, and it's hard to figure out how either binary choice or even none above abdication would make for a satisfying resolution. All this, an anti-stylist, Guadagnino goes nuttier here, depicting the boys friendly rally moving from his dizzy tennis ball eye view shot to an overhead court shot to a fanciful composition form. Somehow beneath the court, making the players appear to be walking on air. They get closer and closer to the net until they finally leap into a swift embrace. Tashi, but in slow motion transfixed and that's how I take pride, and another call back earlier in the film. An expression of generalized ecstasy, and that's it. In the simply amped up nearly dialogue-free sequence, the filmmakers have communicated something profound about both the physical purity of athletics and the messy was a true multi-directional love. It's an act of supreme confidence. The movie can wait until the last 5 minutes to go from very good to absolute great. That's from Jesse Hassinger for their #1 part of this year. Doing part 2, The Arrival. Sorry?
Have you seen any of these movies?
I've seen part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are many good reasons to see a movie in theaters, so it's precision on the big screen. To support independent film, to enjoy the communal experience of a Gatsby museum at every twist in the conclave. And chief among them, at least for this writer, was the immersion in the capital as spectacle. That's right, capital as spectacle. No movie delivered on pure cinematic absorption this year, like Dennis Villeneuve's The Moves Dune Part 2. I agree, it was like really pretty picture, like watch people looking at. You don't even have to listen or turn the sound off. You don't need the sound. Feel that music.
Acid, Joe.
The score's ambition is strange for one by no moment hits as hard as the last act opener. And a Breaking Bad post-credits from right after 3 minutes, light, claim power. Our main layers of slimes over here. The crowd, the team score pounds, team's rival, who's subterranean base supposed to sit, saw the car, first part 1, 4 times to make up seriousness, empty challenge tower shot, the giant sandboard power pose. Each of the 3 times that this rider saw are theaters, they beam through their awkward end of teenage like a mental child candy. And a little brain saying, what a thrill, watch Bill on my page with a big soft canvas to see actual visionary officer. Like some movie fan brain at the wheel. Let's fucking go! Oh, yeah, that's Adrian Boyan's reaction to the Dune Part 2. The Cyberpunk 2 in Max, XXXE. US actually has women a love letter from important moments big and small in the next 3 or 4 cinema. But the series conclusion Maxine, West brings up to full blast. For starters, there's a rogue gallery of callbacks films such as Halloween, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Psycho, and many more. Not to mention the trilogy's first 2 films, X and Pro as well. More, pop goes in the about Maxine as the porn star trying to turn screen queen, helping West friends to film in the cinematic glamour such as on the boulevard. The bone piece of revolving line of the Westie, one of the Hotel, and of course, the Universal Studios backdrop from Maxine comes across another Norman Bates' Greek home. It's in a central scene where she's being chased for her life by a private detective from one universal facade after another, ultimately taking back the Bates' residence itself. Wow, Norman Bates' actual residence. And Maxine's fairly there, coach, deconstructing and reconstructing the Magic's history represented. In the busy Hall Mirrors moment, I believe this spices the immediacy of right real life with the local artificial of the entire X trilogy, letting everything in West's extraordinary trio from capitalistic tales go together. That's about such a callback. This is Ron Esposito. The thanks of real What pains Eisenberg's second feature is about President Steve Eisenberg and Benny Karen Colton, running an anime, who go on Jewish heritage for Poland. Is everyone also Eisenberg produce more? There are funny, flighty, and it's a lot of weight ammunition, a bit Noah Baumbach, and a dash Laszlo Nemes. Introduced Eisenberg said, that's the best jokes from the movie. And that they could unbalance movie. Light out, biggest fact is one improvised by Will Sharp, Billy James, or Fake Me, which I already liked for a guy. The day before Bishop has James making especially feeling authentic. They were taking vegetables in the restaurant. They began apologized for him, explained why he might be like that. The next day, they were to a concentration camp. They doesn't say goodbyes to the rest of the group. James hugged Benji, and they said for honesty back, changing his perspective and re-energizing his career. Then walking off, Chef David was putting so much effort and energy. Don't throw away, thanks David, Angelo. This is a little detail, felt shocking and so funny. And she laughs every time she thinks of it. This is Catherine Schwartz review. Her favorite moment of the year. Her name's Rebel Bridge. Jeremy's solid years understand the action of Rebel Bridge. It's a regular fire anger. It emerged from Aaron Tier's system Track Hero. Then also from us. Not just for those trying to destroy the movie itself. It landed on Netflix ever, the biggest banner. The movie directly for a loud music music kind of on your iPhone. One of many moments that made this writer wish. This creature crowd very time small town police station as Dear Harry's head it's Don Johnson's famously wild police chief office. Therefore, this is how they discovered MC and Amy. I think he's on the page on the friend lines. On the air, squeezes every single drop of attention toward the reason much needed in brief. Catharsis, as believed in and cleverly choreographed those tools. And those surrounding it, there was really satisfying gossip brain wrong that you just don't get much of an accent these days. And Benjamin Lee tears from their couch. They could cheer from the theater. Let's see, I think there's 4 more films, 5 more films.
Wow, 5, okay.
Hey, well, this is the last film to watch before the year is. Dakota Brutalist. Brutalist flash forward office up report, top block. The girl daughter of now infirm architect Laszlo takes the stage and the division honoris word and explains all his medical business center commission interview. But what industrial mother, Laszlo covertly turned the project into a monument, the horror of the Holocaust. But the young Zionist mention of her home in Jerusalem suggests that Israel is ultimate historical vindication of the Jews. Or is the scene in which she says, speak for me now. Who the private man refused to equate duties with Israeli identity in life, seems something subtler, how very best the other members show up. Prior to Corvette, as captain of all mornings meetings, he brought his final look at the US into a series of appropriation and ideology. To keep the last with Orthodox translation of popular return of millennium paradigm. Sally Disco Group, La Bionada, sends us out with the monsters, fighting against them, one for you, one for me. From Charles Bromesco. The interrogation, Hitman. There's a role scene in Hitman. They actually do a lot of role scenes. Richard Linklater's Norris, Rubal, John, Front, Yoga, Cure, Cinephile Bliss, the not professor, Dyke, Powell, Linda Dasley takes to a new game person and empire for undercover police operations. These really exciting Powell's Gary, when also Gary involved with Marks, Audra, and Madison. They probably femme fatale once off for a bit. And there, where the role playing is seen in there, that it's the climax. Climax, there's not the climax, at least that's the deal. But these are on Madison. Gary will wire side for fire. And so he does. Going surprise to see in variation. The text listening in, passing notes to Madison, directing her on how to react. You know, Powell and Audra 19 sexual charge between their characters. Transgender pages flowing out through all the net, feeling in them. Through all the hot actors are points and multiple. And many erogenous zooms, one of the choice of scenes in the movie of us this year. I guess we have the bomb scene. We got a lot of strong. Yeah, Timothy Bly. Dissident, Martha. Netflix Martha, the reading copy on American. We're influencer, Mark's story of means. Mark's stories from the heart, carrying already others, keep keep safe, body and feeling. Then right there, seriously, give it a crack and another product appearance. Rather than the from getting the shot, don't get on the voice on the play. If you don't like it, if you feel the big night, you know, fast, big night cuts, you step 7, finish it off, not forgotten, not get it on phone. Thank God you listen. We made our sister actually living for truth. That's right, Mark's story doesn't know who this. They and I'm seeing the right Okay, one. Yeah, exactly. The very after sisters. It's not the shows when the has a previous sisters. They can tell that people the 90s family that's for me. Has to be the one Daisy Edgar Jones, brilliant, the Thomas Rose, Kate House, Tyler. I always talk to people who supposed to say, I radio. It's what I discussed that. I'll show you how rodeo. The theater kind of bonding through romantic games and interesting. The phone starting people beyond downtown. The tornado. Max in theory, it's honestly done. A night of neon lit, 100 concrete beats, and the board of the in North City on King and the Mountain. They built together for facts and mother daughter's life. It's funny to my daughter's something. Far as the good night, I think only a quarter first. But we know that LK will be. Which is why in your cars, Princess Love Twisters, remember the stories, really much of a movie that founded safe in the storm. That's the second period. Finally, our final biggest movie moment of the year. The expulsion, Time's kindness. Broken on feels super rapid, full of poor things. In fact, same image love of me attention. Although something equally, if not more, discerning. Perhaps the theme of this 20 down with hours. Time finds his own restraint and his largest color palette and multi anonymous faithfulness. But bringing back into his big free cast, in partnership with Epidis Kabu, who writer on Doctor and Love All. The themes of but is strong. Still be there to do. Among the seals, Steve, and the entire cast. It's such a big seal moment from 3 tables of the which the most struggles with sincerity. But for them, Sam still has been she's the leading form of our generation. Her trademark feels and show the Max sequence and the story. It's called her home. Who said it for contamination every man out of the sauna. Then it's up order. Her face transformed into a match in fear. One for the ages. That's your Andrew Cooper. There you go. All of your parting best scenes of the year. Doom challengers, of course, we're taking things this year. You'll stop the 100 yard on that bitch. Maxine. And the likes. See you like you. Which is history.
Come on, is history. People should just list, right? So you reference it. How many movies are 10?
But how many writers I said behind the over? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12. Writers here, these are the movies here.
Well, and they're talking Bill movies tomorrow. They're talking Oscar.
Really?
Next year. Rules anyway. In 8 places this day, Matthew Bartlett English very because the backwater from Shelby and Place. They failed that one. He's born in yeah, there's some places. Well, that's shit. You know. I know I'm American manufacturing how do you use more? Are you even for reclusiveness for uses of it? Is as well. Let me see these days. A lot of this. A company, manufacturing company. There's a bunch of companies network. We studio. Man, a lot of the we didn't stars. They created that facade on landing theater in Marshall Day. Depends. He shot assassinated Algiers. Wait, he shot right in Algiers. Very good. 1943. Federal Beacon Harvard. It's the man of the LA Station Report World War II. What do you like? We call the United States. Thank you. Interest high. That'll be Samuel C. Yacht. It's not was thinking in 1911. Suffice. Yeah. Around day. Mercury 70 Meyer. Once day. He's 300 hours. 5 times. Every time he teenager. If you use Meyer, I don't know. I this is never. It's never. I had seen 5 times. I said 9. What's up? It's like this is no, it's all like noon. I said 9. So maybe I can't find this man. Saturday I find this girl. Get the world for so they basically ends with all Yes. Start of schemes with A. From the for. Reasons of reasonable reserve essential. 45 report. Third one. Yield the partners. What's it going? Yeah, road. Our Disney's are yellow now.
Yeah. Actually,
Those are the movie.